Happy New Year. 2023 is over. We are now in 2024. But before we get into 2024 TV shows, we have to talk about all the 2023 TV shows that I watched. I only watched 9 shows in 2023, but nonetheless, we're going to rank them, place them on their proper tiers. Join me down below in the comment section. What was your favorite show of 2023 and your least favorite show? Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and let's hop into these tiers. Starting off with our tiers, we have favorite of the year. We have great, we have good, we have meh, and we have least favorite of the year. I don't really watch a lot of TV, so 9 shows for me is actually quite a bit. And majority of these, I'm going to be fairly positive on. I'm going to have like one hot take, and that's just going to have to go in the least favorite of the year tier. So first up, we have Gen V, and I'm going to put Gen V in the great tier. Enjoy the way it ended, and I'm really excited for The Boys Season 4. I just feel like this one didn't capture all the magic that The Boys does. Definitely good. These characters are definitely interesting, but I'm so used to our Boys characters that I wanted just almost a little bit more from some of our characters throughout this entire show. Nonetheless, it's gory, it's raunchy, it's everything you want in a Boys spinoff. I thought it hit the mark for the most part. I just compared it too much to The Boys, and The Boys is one of my favorite TV shows ever, so I think that was my bad. Nonetheless, these characters are interesting to see. The first 5 minutes of the show, I mean, just sets the stage, and it's insane. There's a lot of things in here that'll make you laugh, make you close your eyes, so it has that Boys-esque of it. And the characters, I just didn't gravitate towards them as much as The Boys, but nonetheless, this is a great TV show, and getting to see Homelander and Butcher towards the end, whoo, that was crazy. Then we have Ted Lasso. This was season 3, and this was the final season of the show, going in the great tier as well. Now, it was a little rocky. There was a couple episodes in there that did not hit, but there was also a couple episodes in there that really did hit. When Jamie's teaching Roy how to ride a bike, that was one of the best bromance episodes ever. And when Ted realizes his son misses him, he needs to go back, it hit in the feels. And Nate, his arc was rushed through the show. He was painted such a villain in season 2 and throughout season 3. Then all of a sudden, it was just forgiveness. So a couple things were rushed, but by the end, this show just makes you feel so good. It makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I will miss Ted Lasso. We're getting spinoffs. Hopefully they can hit the same as this one, but Ted Lasso and all of his puns and all his like play on words, I'm gonna miss him. And Jason Sudeikis, he crushed it as Ted Lasso, and I'm gonna miss his show. It's one of those shows I can go back and watch at any time and just make you feel good. Then we have Beef. This is a Netflix show, and I enjoyed parts of this, but also I'm going just meh. I just did not care for this show. When I was watching it, I debated turning it off several times. It's about 2 people who get in a road rage accident who are basically determined to ruin each other's lives. It's silly. It's just a little bit like, I just don't know why I watched the show. I kept telling myself, let's just turn it off. But I like Steven Yeun. The acting is good. And at one point, I was like, I'm like halfway through. I at least got to finish it. And I just wasn't the biggest fan of where this show went. And it just felt kind of like a waste of time. That's probably my hottest take of the entire day. Then we have The Bear Season 2, which very well could go in favor of the year because I absolutely love The Bear. And that being said, it's gonna go in favorite of the year. I watched season 2 about 3 times all the way through this year, and I love season 1. The Bear is one of my favorite shows of all time. The episodes that stood out through this one, obviously the Christmas special when you had so many cameos, and to see Jeremy Allen White just perform with all these big name actors, and then also the Richie episode hits you right in the feels. It's such a great show. I loved it. I love what they did with it. It ended a little bit sad, but nonetheless, I am so excited for season 3. This is the one show I watched several times, and I'm actually gonna have one more show in favor of the year because I actually watched it more than The Bear Season 2. But of all the shows, The Bear Season 2 is one of the shows that I just watch constantly. I constantly think about. It's a comfort show, even though it's absolutely chaotic. Then we have Ahsoka, which would have gone in the great tier if it stuck the landing with the finale. So that being said, I'm gonna put Ahsoka in the good tier. Now, that being said, this is probably my favorite pieces of Star Wars content since The Force Awakens. Mandalorian Season 1 and Season 2 were solid, but Ahsoka just gave us everything and more I wanted, especially from like Obi-Wan. I wanted more Hayden Christensen. I wanted more Darth Vader. I wanted more lightsaber battles. This show hit everything for me. It was delivering every episode. I watched the entire show in one day, and then the finale came around, and it was just rushed. It should have been 10 episodes. I'll stand by that. I don't know why shows do this. They should have been 2 more episodes because Thrawn and everything was built up so well that the finale, there's no way they're going to be able to deliver on a great finale. But I hope we get a season 2. I love to see Ezra. I love to see Ahsoka. I thought the show was just really good. And if it stuck the finale ending, it would have been one of the best of the year. But the finale just left a little bit of a sour taste. You're kind of like, that's it? Like, no. And yes. Then we have Kaleidoscope, which I'm gonna throw in the good tier as well. This came out January 1st of 2023, over a year ago now, and it was really interesting the way they did this because everyone watched the episode in a different order. So my wife and I watched it in a completely different order, and some of our friends watched it. It's a heist show with Giancarlo Esposito starring in it, and I love a good heist show, and it's very interesting. At times, it does seem almost a little redundant, and also seems a little bit like it's dragging its feet along, but I love the way they told this show because it's all in different order, so you're trying to put the pieces together. That worked to its advantage. I really like they did that, but at times it worked to its disadvantage because you kind of knew a lot of things before things were actually going to happen. So sometimes you wish the show played out. I like they did something different. I like them taking a risk like that, and the show, how it ended, it was solid. Wasn't like my favorite ending ever, but nonetheless, my wife and I really enjoyed watching the show. Last January it came out, which is insane. Then we have The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 2. And this is also going to my favorite of the year tier. Now, my wife has read all the books. We loved Season 1, even though it's cheesy and the acting isn't that great. But Season 2 hits you in the feels. And I've watched The Summer I Turned Pretty. Season 1, probably 15 times. Season 2, probably 10 times. I'm not joking. This is my wife's favorite show ever. It is constantly on in our house. If I get home from work, she is watching a show. So we are constantly watching a show together. It's our comfort show we watch all the time. That's why I have it in here, because we watch it anytime. It's the one show she plays on repeat that I just don't get tired of. I constantly watch. I'm Team Jeremiah. Conrad just makes me angry, but I'm Team Jer. There's several moments in here where I was screaming, I was cheering, and when Susanna's basically saying goodbye to Belly, I mean, dude, did you right in the feels? I don't even care. It's cheesy, don't get me wrong, but this is summer vibes. I wish I had summers like this hanging out with friends, and it just makes you feel like a kid all over again. It's a great, great show. Then we have The Last of Us, which could go in a favorite of the year, and I would argue The Last of Us is actually the best show of 2023. But I'm going to go on the top of the great tier. The Last of Us is one of those shows that I played majority of the video game The Last of Us, and this show paid so much homage to the video game, hit on just little things throughout it. But the way they created this world, I love a good post-apocalyptic world, and they delivered so well. The first episode made you cry your eyes out. Pedro Pascal just showed that he is not messing around. He's one of the best actors working today. And it's dramatic, it's scary, it's deep, it's dark, and my wife and I watched it together. She just normally does not like these post-apocalyptic shows, these zombie shows. She loved it, I loved it. We cannot wait for season 2. And shout out Bella Ramsey, just great. There was one episode in there, only one, that I was like, that was fine, but it wasn't bad. I was like, that was just fine. Felt like it didn't really go anywhere, but it was just fine, and that's how good The Last of Us is. And finally, for the last tier, Mandalorian Season 3. I'm not going to stay on this too long because this was one of the most disappointing entries for Star Wars ever. What happened? Season 1, Season 2 just captured the magic. When making this list, I forgot that Mandalorian Season 3 came out. Left a really bad sour taste in my mouth, especially because you love Season 1, you love Season 2, but Season 3 just felt like it went nowhere. It felt like it was just same thing, different day, and they didn't promote this show a lot, and I was really nervous because they did the same thing with Book of Boba Fett. They weren't promoting it all that much, and they were like, hey, let's just get through this. Well, that's what they felt like they did with Mandalorian Season 3. Let's just get through this, and Grogu's kind of just there to be cute now. Just left a really bad taste in my mouth. My most disappointing show, probably project of 2023. And that's going to do it for my 2023 TV shows tier ranking. And lots of 2024 shows I'm looking for. I had to rank all the shows I watched last year before we get into shows for this year. Let me know your favorite show of last year down below in the comment section. And what are your most anticipated show for 2024? And that video is coming in the next couple days. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. I'll see you in the next one.